Hey, it's gone live. I clicked the wrong button. Oh, well, I'm here now. It's a good thing I didn't have my finger up my nose. So we're going to look at some unusual tips. I get a little frustrated in the world of life coaching, positive psychology, performance psychology. Everything is like tinged with these silly, trite aphorisms. It's all very smug, soporific, solipsistic nonsense wrapped in a fucking bouquet of logical fallacy, marketing hype, and bullshit. And I claim its ideology at its purest. It's there to make you softer. It's there to make you more pliable, more obedient, and it's conformity. It's like covert conformity nonsense, loadsome nonsense. So I have some tips for you. I started with 3. I have content greed. I've ended up with 5. Live with it. Tip number one for anti-life coaching that goes against the grain is be less likable. Be willing to be unlikable. You were not put on this planet to be a cupcake. You know what a placebo is? You know, usually when we talk about placebo, we're talking about sugar pills that you give people that taste nice, but they don't really do anything. Placebo doesn't directly translate, but it's derived from a Greek expression for I will please, placebo. There is something called a nocebo, which means I will not please. I don't want you walking around pleasing people. That your idea is to give people that placer, that pleasure, placebo. It's the same root. I want you to be like, no, I'm a nocebo. I don't make you feel good. I'm not on this planet to walk around being a sweet pill, a sweet little cupcake, making people feel good. Be willing to be not liked. Don't be covertly controlled and corralled into this ideology that you have to be likable and that the best thing in the world is to have likes and followers. It isn't. It's to be a real fucking human being who's not afraid to speak their truth. Be less of a lamb. Non serviam. I will not please. No te piace. No me piace, no te piace. I'm not here to fucking please you. Be less lamb, less of the sacrificial lamb, less of the scapegoat, and be more wolf. Wolves can function, can hunt, and can survive on their own, and they work very, very well as a team. But it's not a team for everybody. So you be selective and you build your team, you build your pack, you build your tribe, and make sure that if somebody's coming into the tribe, that they're giving as much as they're receiving. Be less lamb and be more wolf. Don't be afraid of frightening people. My second piece of advice that goes against the grain is engage in negative thinking. Judge, condemn, be pessimistic, identify the things that you hate, and then stay the hell away from them. You don't need to engage in things in your life that you hate doing. You don't need to be around people that you hate. You don't need to be around scenarios that you hate. I don't like to use the word hate because it's too strong. No, you're a fucking cupcake. You hate it. So fucking hate it. It's a natural human emotion. The things that appall you, that are immoral, that are repugnant, that are wrong, hate them because they deserve hate. It's natural. Anger, hatred for that which deserves to be condemned. You judge it. I don't like to judge people because for me, I do a lot of yoga. No, fucking judge them. If they're pricks, then judge them as pricks. Condemn them inside your mind and say, right, I don't want to be around these people. I'm not telling you to do anything illegal or to smack them over the head with a piece of wet salmon. I'm not saying to do that. I'm just saying that in your mind, you have the right to judge. You must judge to get through this life. You're being told not to judge by people who are judging you every day. You're being told not to condemn by the people at the top who are condemning you and yours every day. Fuck that shit. Judge and condemn. Be pessimistic. It's good to be optimistic. It's good to focus on the things you want, but it's also good to be pessimistic and to go, okay, where's this going to go wrong? Don't go through life as some silly little sugary cupcake going, oh, everything's going to be okay because my karma is clean. And if I do good things will. No, they won't. No, they won't. That's not how the world works. Stop saying it and stop thinking it. It's ideology at its purest. It's the most disgusting Western Buddhism, as Slavoj Žižek has coined it. It's nonsense. It has no grit. It has no roots. It has no, it's not rooted in anything. It's just gibberish. Don't do it. Proceed with just half an idea. You can move forward with half an idea. Why? This is based on an assumption. This is personal. This is part of my personal philosophy, which is that the baseline human state is vulnerability, fragility, and incompetence and fear. So the people around you are fragile, they're incompetent, they're fearful, they're struggling with imposter syndrome, and they're barely holding things together. That means the enterprises around you, the corporations around you, they're also held together with bits of blue tack and string and sellotape, and they're just barely getting by. They're not smarter than you. They're not, they don't know more than you, but they know the value of just taking action. Just violence of action, just decisive action makes way more of a difference in the real world, not in the theoretical world of people who are sat in their living rooms typing away on their keyboards. It's not how it works. You're cowards. You're cowards. You don't know what you're talking about. The people who are trying to proselytize this idea that everything needs to be perfect before you move forward are cowards. Cowards. Just do it. Half an idea. If you've got half an idea, you've got 50% more of an idea than the other idiots around you in socks. Everybody, every human being who's bound in mortal flesh is an idiot in socks, just like me, just like you. We're all monkeys down from the trees. You can proceed with half of your idea. Please do. Here's a challenging one that's not going to stroke the ego, but then I've never thought that life coaching should be about stroking the ego. That's why it's called the fucking Spartan life coach, man. And I'm being coerced. People are like, no, don't make me feel bad. Fuck that. I'm not here to make you feel good. Go and watch a fucking comedy show if you want to feel good, or videos of kittens sleeping. I find that very, very pleasurable. Assume you are a liar. Assume you're a liar. This is a really, really good thing to do. So when you say something like, I'm here and I want to do this, but I cannot do that because of X, Y, and Z. Assume for a moment as a thought experiment that those are all lies. Assume that you're full of shit. Assume that you're just scared. Assume that your problem is not barrier X, barrier Y, and barrier Z. Assume that you're suffering from cowardice, and assume that that cowardice is an illness that can be resolved with a cure. And that cure is called bravery. It's called courage. It's called girding up your loins and surging ahead into the breach. Assume that the things that are holding you back are not true. Assume that you've built a series of safeguards around you because you're frightened of the challenge of doing the thing that it is that you want to get done. Number 5, this is a general piece of advice that I want to give to people, and it doesn't matter what issue it is in life you are facing. This one is going to help. Be tougher. Be tougher. You like, we're being soaked in a sort of a cultural propaganda of it's like non-confrontational, just go with the flow, just, if it's meant to be, it'll be, and don't push it. If it's not meant to happen, don't push. It's not meant. No, that's not how the people who built this world and who control almost every fucking aspect of our lives now, that's not how they think. I read a comment the other day by a guy who's an author. His name is Jack Donovan. He writes books. And I read a comment of his, and it's something along the lines of, you've got to remember that the people who are in charge of us are not worshipping the same gods that we worship. They're not working by the same ideology that they're encouraging us to consume. They want you to cop out. They want you to just be addicted to comfort. They want you to stay inside your comfort zone. They want you to give up. They want you spineless. They want you a sweet little cupcake who's obsessed with being liked. who's obsessed with not causing a fuss. I've noticed this in the world. Like my background was nightclub security, so I was in restaurants. I was working in the service industry and customer services. Everything's changed now. Everything is about being cool. So nobody wants to complain anymore because everybody wants to be cool, and it's not cool to complain. It's got to the point where you can't trust any recommendations or these sites where they rate hotels, restaurants, clothes shops, cafes, anything. You can't trust any of it because nobody wants to be the one that says, like, you guys are fucking lazy fucks who aren't doing your fucking jobs, because it's not cool. So you can afford to be that person. You can afford to be a lot tougher. If your goal is to get your life in order and you want some agency, some sovereignty, some potency in your life, just be tougher. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to wrap it there. I'm about to go live to do a Q&A on everything that I just said. I'm setting up the live now, and I'll be going live in 4 minutes time. So I will catch you there for any questions you might have. Thank you very much for your time and your attention, and I'll speak to you in a moment. Cheerio. Ta-ta.